All right. Let's see what we have here. If you could hear me, see me on your screen, just help me confirm we are live. Go ahead and throw some comments below if you're on YouTube or Facebook, either or. That would be super helpful. Refresh this. Got here. Get things going. This part here. Looks like we are live on this one. Pull up YouTube. If you're tuned in, definitely if you don't mind, share where you're tuning in from. And if you want to throw in your favorite football team, who you rep, that would be cool also. We're already into NFL season here, and I'd like to know who we got tuned in and what your favorite team is, right? Today being day 2 is going to be all around setup, right? Our number one goal today, for those that are tuned in live here or going to be watching this on the replay, our number one goal today is to get our website up and running. In the past, I've said, hey, just go through day 2, get day 2 done. And as I'm meeting more and more of our challengers and getting to know each of y'all, whether it's in the Facebook group or it's just in general, I'm finding that the hardest part was just getting the website up and running, because you don't know what you don't know, or it's the paralysis by analysis. It's I already have a website. Why don't I just make another 5-10 pages on my site to talk about this? I'll make it from scratch. It just becomes very overwhelming, and we don't get to finish the project. We get to that 97, 98% percentile, and it's like we'll get to it later, and then we get busy. So I want to just make sure that by the end of today, as you get into your system, and if I have the luxury of having you do it with me, right, as we're doing this together, that'd be even more awesome, to just get your website up and running today with your domain name, and then we can get into the next few steps, which pretty much are easy peasy from there, right? So we're going to give another minute here for those that are just tuning in, sharing where they're tuning in from, their favorite NFL team. And I'm just going to open up a couple quick screens here while I'm waiting for that. Just make sure I got YouTube going here. We got a handful of folks that jump on YouTube, so we appreciate you tuning in there as well, right? Okay. Got this part here. We are ready to go. So, for those of you that do not have access, because you will need access to the university section of high level, which is under the agency view, please comment below if you do not have access, because we'll need to give you some instructions on how to get the access so you could install the snapshot and be able to follow along here. I'm going to share this screen over here. Let me pull this up here. Okay, share this one. All right, so let's get right into it. For those of you that already have this set up or are aware of this process, just your support would be very helpful as I get the rest of our new friends here up and running. So where I'm at right now on the screen that you see is the high-level agency view. Agency dashboard is where we're at. What we need to do here is first and foremost make our way to the university section. So university right here. As this opens up, we need to make our way to the 5-day reviews challenge course. That opens up a new tab. And we need to immediately make our way to the reputation management client acquisition snapshot setup, this one right here. And then we'll need to make sure that our high level is open or is logged in. And we'll click this link. As we click this link, this is the next prompt you will see. We'll click yes, import now. That'll import it into our account snapshots library. We then need to go to the sub-accounts tab here on the left. You probably just have one or two, right? This is our account, so there's a little bit more. We're going to look up reputation management playbook client acquisition snapshot. Now, keep in mind, whatever you named your sub-account is what you need to look for. So if you named it so-and-so management, then that's what you need to look for. This is our name. You'll have a different name. Maybe it's your business name. Maybe it's what you named it as you created it quickly. If you don't have a sub-account created, well, then prior to installing the snapshot, you need to click Create Sub-Account. Creating this sub-account is basically where you'll be running your reputation management business out of. Right? So you create that sub-account, you'll fill in all the fields that it requires, and it'll be bare bone. Once you've created that, you'll then go back to the sub-accounts tab here. After you refresh, you'll search for the name of the sub-account you created, and it should pop up, just like mine did. Right? So let's pretend this is the one that you made. We're going to click on this little button right here, Manage Client. Okay. Now we're in the actual sub-account access area, right? So across here, there's a bunch of custom settings, right, for this snapshot. This like sub-account. Sub-account name is here, right? So the next thing we need to do here is we need to go to Actions, and we need to click Load Snapshot, right? We go to the Pick a Snapshot. We're going to type in the name of the snapshot. So the name of the snapshot is Reputation Management Playbook Client Acquisition. That's the name of the snapshot. So you type in reputation, it should pop right up. We'll click that. We'll click proceed. We want to make sure that everything is select all. I will say that before you install this snapshot, if you are an existing user and you are running your marketing company, agency, service from a particular snapshot, I recommend you start a new sub-account for this. Start a new sub-account for this particular snapshot just until you get familiar with everything, and you want to make sure that none of your existing settings, override. All right. So we're going to select all. We're going to click proceed. On mine, it found that there were some items to be to overwrite. I'm aware of that, so I'm going to overwrite all, and I'm going to proceed. If you are creating a fresh sub account, you may or may not get that same notification. But if it's a new sub account, it doesn't matter what you're overwriting because it's a new sub account. It matters most when you have an existing sub account and maybe you've made some particular adjustments that you don't want to be and no changes to. Right. So now our sub account snapshot is installed. Right. It's installed, ready to go. If you're doing this with me, or if you've done it already, let me know in the comments. If you've ran into any questions, any roadblocks, let me know in the comments. Right? So let's get into the actual snapshot now. So I'm going to click here, switch to sub account. Right. So this is going to get me into the actual sub account. Right. Handful of you are doing this with me, so thank you for following along. Handful of you are asking for help with getting into the university, getting access to the course. So looks like Jordan's got y'all in the right direction. Right. So now that we're in this sub account, our number one job today together is just to get our website up. Let's get our website up so we could show something to someone and start the conversation, right? Everything else is just business as usual, pretty easy, as long as you follow step by step. But the website, for some reason, just holds people up. So I want to just tackle that here, right? So in order to get that part going, let's go to sites on the left. We'll click on websites. Okay. And I have two versions because I had made some adjustments on an older version, and then I just imported, right, the new version. So I'm going to start new with you. I'm going to start new with you. Now, if you have installed this snapshot before, well, I've added some new features to it. I've added some new options to it, and I'll go over those options with you here as we move along through the process, right? So our snapshot's installed, our domain, our website is here. Let's click on the website. Once I click on the website, it'll open up everything that's in that website package. So each box is a page from the website. If you click on the three dots, it'll open up the settings and the page for that website. So in this particular area, this will change the name and the path. This becomes a little bit more important when you're changing the name and the path to specific pages that you want to be clearly known as what they are, right? And an example of that could be this page here. Maybe this page is um, demo video, right? You just want to be a little bit more specific, right? So let's work out of the home page. So this handles just the basic settings. This gives us access to edit our actual page, right? We're in the editor. This is a live editor, right? As you hover over different areas, it will give you access to them to make any adjustments you want, right? So keep in mind, if you're new to the high-level website editor, right, this covers the whole box. This covers the image. This covers, the headline. This covers the content. So like everything is very particular. So if I wanted to swap out these images, I could swap out these images, right? I could literally just remove these images and add a new one, right? To undo it, I'll click the undo button right up here, right? So I'm going to walk through a little bit of this editor so you don't make the same mistakes I made when I first started, right? So let's start from here. This will give you the navigation bar. So as you look at this navigation bar, we want to change this to be our logo. So we'll make our way to the image section. And here is where you could upload your logo. Now, when you upload your logo, right, you'll click New Upload, upload the file, find the file from your computer. Once that's uploaded, it'll put it in the media storage. You'll click the three dots here. You'll click on Get Link. That'll save the link. You'll X out and you'll replace this link with the link that you just copied and you'll hit paste. And that'll replace the image. So when you're editing images, you're uploading it to the media sharing. Then you're clicking on the image, you're copying the link, and then you're pasting the link where it has the image area. Maybe a little bit different than what you're normally used to. So I want to just make sure I share this with you. And if you want to adjust the size of the image, you could do so here, right? So let's say we want to change or hide some of these tabs. These menu items, as you click, you could, again, you won't need to, but if you need to, you could. You could adjust where they go as needed, right? And if you want to rename it, you could do so as well, right? Colors, if you want to adjust the color, you can, okay? So look, I don't expect you to learn this very quickly and right on the spot. It will take some time. But really what we just need to make sure we do just to get started, right? Because this will be an evergreen effort that you have, is let's replace our logo. If we want to adjust any wording, we could adjust any wording, right? Let's make sure our footer has our logo, our information. This location full address will pull from your business information under the company section for the sub account. So make sure that your sub account information is up to date of what you want to be displayed. If you don't want to have your address, you could remove it as needed. Okay. As we hover over our social links, we'll hover here. We'll click the pen. We'll add our social landing pages to where these links should point them to. If we want to remove one or add another, we could do so, right? So if we just work off of the two areas that I just shared with you, by the time we're done, we have our logo up and running. We have our menu up and running. Below, we have our footer up and running with our logo and our information. And we've added or removed or adjusted where we want things to point to, right? There is nothing else in depth for you to do. Just make sure your information is correct, right? We'll hit save. You always want to make sure you hit save. If you don't, and you, for some reason you swipe or you click away, you'll have to start over, right? There's not an auto save on this. There is not an auto save yet. So you'll have to click save, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on the eye. The eye will share with me what this would look like live, right? So let's click on watch demo. All right, so I noticed here that I need to update on a few other areas, a couple things. So let's finish up with my homepage, right? Got this done, perfect. Okay. Mobile version, you want to make sure you click on the mobile just to make sure it's all up to date, right? And it looks smooth, especially if you made some edits, you changed some images, you just want to make sure everything is lined up, right? So you have the mobile view and the desktop view, right? Something to put on your to-do list is to make sure you fill in your SEO metadata. So you'll want to add your title, your description, some keywords, and your social image. Essentially, your business name. Thank God, I saved it. Somehow I clicked something and it took me out. So that's an unplanned example of what could happen. Right? So we're back in here. Want to go to SEO metadata, right? If you're not an SEO, if you're not proficient in SEO, go to ChatGPT, create me a title, including your business name, city, state you're in for my website, under 70 characters. It'll do that. Plug it in there. Create me a description under 155 characters. Go ahead and do that. It'll paste that in there. Create me, 15 keywords. Plug those in. Plug in your company name or your name. The social image is important because when you share your website on Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever else, that's the image that's going to be pulled. So you want to make sure your logo or whichever image you want displayed there is proper, right? And if you have questions about any of this, you could also go to help.gohighlevel.com, right? And you'll be able to, let me pull this up here so I don't lose my windows. Type in websites. Site editor. Go. So we'll go to sites. So we'll type in there sites. This will be for sites overview. And this will walk through the site builder overview. So this is how I learned it because it's it's a little different than some other editors I've used in the past, right? But this gives you the walkthrough of what you need to know to do what you need to do, right? So help.gohighlevel.com, sites overview. That'll pull this up here. Click it. Short video, details, right? Just close this out here. Give me 1 second while I open up my tab again. And we'll get back to what we were working on here. Where is bear with me. Opened up one thing and I lost the other. All right. If you have any questions so far of what we've gone through, please comment below. Right? So far, what we've gone through here is getting into the homepage section, making some edits. With those edits, making sure we're saving, making sure we're checking the mobile version, making sure we're uploading any additional photos, logos, information we want, and then replacing it with the link because we're not just uploading and dragging, it's grab the link and put the link in the field that we want to replace that image for, right? Let me share this here. So loading up. Okay, so we got the SEO metadata. We hit publish, right? If we want to add another section, we can add a row as needed. And as we add that row, let's say we want to add a photo, right? Or a photo and text, we could do that as well. Right? So there's plus sign gets you all the elements of what you want to add. Right? And again, I don't expect you to learn this right away. All I expect of you is just to get the page up, get it connected, right? So I'm gonna get out of this part here. We've spent more than enough time in the home page. It's really just making sure our business information is there. Now I want to walk you through um, the next page, which is the video page. The video page, again, we'll need to update if it's not set up for you, if you have not set it up. Everyone's got a little bit more different experience than others. And depending on how you imported the snapshot, there may not be global elements. And global elements are basically what's here is duplicated through each page of the site. This one looks like it's global, so it's a header. So this will update based on what I did originally, whether if I do it here or another page. But this one below here is not global, right? So this is where I'll need to go in and make those adjustments. And then if I want to make it global, I could do so, right? So if I wanted to make this section global, meaning it'll always be the set footer for every page, I'll click I'll click Save Section, Global Footer, and I'll add it to my global sections. Hit Save, right? So this is, it looks like I already saved it, right? If I want to make this page a template, I could save this page as a template, or I could save this section. I could save this section as a template, right? So you have that option. So why are we on this page and why is it important? Let's click on the image on the video. The video is already preloaded for you. So you don't need to upload the video. It's already set up there, hosted in the image video gallery. You could change your thumbnail. So if you want to add a thumbnail to this, maybe a play button or a snippet of the video, you can add a thumbnail. And then you have the settings for the video. So the video is set for autoplay. You could also, a really cool feature here that's up to you if you want to activate is generate leads from video. And this is if you turn it on, it'll give you the opportunity to pick the hour, well, minute, basically, what minute and second you want the video to stop and which form you want to pop up to ask the viewer to fill out, right? So let's just say, for example, here in the 10-second mark, I want this form to pop up. I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna hit publish. Let me do this here. Save on here. I'm gonna hit the preview here. And this is gonna load up, and let's see if within 10 seconds, it asks me to put my information in. So you see the little lock there? All right, video stopped. This popped up, right? So in order to watch the video, I need to fill in my information here to continue to watch the video. So if I hit X, this will allow me to not hold them back. But if I picked in my settings, if I uncheck this, it would require the user to fill in their information in order to continue to watch it. So you could do a soft gate where it pops up, they fill in the information because it popped up. If they X'd out, that's fine, but it'll let them watch the video. But if we do the hard gate, well, then it's going to pop the form up, right? And they're not going to be able to click and watch the rest of the video, which means they're going to leave your page if they decide not to fill in their information. Okay? If you have any questions about that, definitely ask. Definitely ask. All right? I'm not going to save any of this, but that's the video page. Okay? The next page here is our pricing page. So we'll click edit. In our pricing page, we could adjust the pricing. So if we decide to adjust the pricing here, we'll need to adjust it in a couple different areas as well, right? So we have, again, you hover over, it'll show you the area that it's going to be editing, and then you can edit as needed. If you need to undo it, you could undo it as needed. Okay. And you could change, these different, items that come along with it, right? If you're going to be giving some additional professional services with it, you're more than welcome to add those in there as well. Maybe you want to duplicate this and you want to add, and let me undo this here real quick. Right? Maybe you want to duplicate this and you want to add a trio of a package. So you want to offer additional packages. You have a couple different options. You could duplicate this into a 3 rows, or you could go to our pre-built sections. You could locate plan selection, and you could pick a plan selection template to drag and drop in here, right? And then, if you go that route, right, you'll want to make sure that the buttons are all connected, right? And plug in your information. Right? And if you want to adjust the color, you can absolutely adjust the color, right? You could do what as you desire. So you could definitely customize this. Okay. I'm gonna undo this, do this again, right? Just make sure that the buttons you just, when you publish it, you just make sure the buttons are where they need to go, right? Because the worst is to have a website up and it's not functional. Right. So like with this sign up button, the sign up button is set up for a pop-up, right? So in order to edit this pop-up, you'll go to the pop-up settings right over here, right? And in those pop-up settings, you could adjust the information as needed, right? And now, like the pop-up setting button that you pressed has another setting. So you click on pop-up settings here, and this will give you access to override the areas you want to make changes to. That's whether it's color, whether it's adding elements, whether it's adjusting information you ask for. Okay. Any questions below? Jot them down. Right. And then you want to go mobile again. Right. Just make sure the mobile friendly is easy and the changes that you've put are there. Right. And we're good to go. Right. I'm not going to save this because I made some changes. I want to leave it as is. So we got the home page, the video page, the pricings page. Right. Next is the calendar. Okay. Now with the calendar, we need to make sure, and again, in the membership section with the videos that we've put together step by step, it'll go over each of these sections in depth. I'm just showing it to you, so you have just a clear understanding and a little bit of a pre-visual. Has anybody yet set up their website? Go ahead and comment below if you've set up your website. If you're open to share it below. Like our biggest assignment today, at some point, however your day is structured, is to get this up and share it in our group. We have to get this up and share it in our group because think about it. If we don't get this up, then what do we have to sell? What do we have to sell if we don't get this set up? Nothing, right? So I want to emphasize that you need to get this up to move forward. This is a big part, and we got a few folks sharing their sites, which is awesome, right? So let's get into the calendar here. This calendar is feeding off of the calendar settings on a separate tab, right? So this here is based off of your calendar settings. If you've created another calendar and you want to use that other calendar, you could do so here. You could pick the calendar that you want to use, right? And then the mobile version as well, right? So I want to touch on this calendar because this calendar, if it's not properly set up, it won't work. And then you'll get upset, right? And then we don't want that. We want you to have everything you need. So I'm gonna go here to calendars to the calendar section. I'm gonna go to calendar settings. I'm gonna pull up the onboarding calendar, hit the three dots, four dots. I'm gonna click edit, and I'm gonna use the left as my navigation, my right as my updating, right? So if I want to change the color, I could change the color. If I want to add a description, I can add a description. This is all. If I want to add a logo, I can add a logo to it, a banner. Availability, I want to make sure my availability matches my actual availability. If I have two sets of times that I'm available, I'll click the plus sign and I'll add that second set of times, right? As needed, right? If I want to look busy, because I'm brand new at this, I'll click look busy, and this will block out times within my availability to show that I'm busy. If I want to set up intervals and I don't know what that means, I can just hover over the I and learn what that means. If I want to require certain hours, days, time for initial booking, rescheduling, I could do all that here. Okay. Accepting form of payment, we don't need to do that for the calendar right now, so we could ignore that. With notifications, right? We want the acknowledgement email. Who should receive this notification? The contact and anyone else. We want to sync our calendar, and we want to make sure our settings align with what we want for it to be available. Hover over the I for information. Connections, let's link our calendar. That's going to be important to link your calendar. Any customizations? Available for you. If you don't want your calendar title to appear, you don't want your calendar description to appear, you don't want your details to appear, you could remove them. Let's click preview widget, and it'll show you what it'll look like. Okay. Again, like high level was designed for marketers, for agency owners, for people that are serving small to medium-sized businesses. This is set up almost like a box of Legos. The picture looks great on the box. It gives you the potential of what it could look like. It gives you what, if you follow, right, the guide and you follow along, like you can have this as the finished product, but you have to put the pieces together. And why marketers and agencies prefer high level is because they can customize it without spending upgrade fees and additional developers and programmers to add on different scripts and different things, right? So we give you the bare bone with the opportunity to add on as you want, right? If you're not techie, if you don't have patience, this will make you mad. Initially, initially it'll make you mad. But as you start to see your finished products come to life, you'll be proud and you'll be excited because you created it the way you want it, right? So patience is important. Patience is important, please, right? So make sure you hit the save button on your settings, right? And we'll make our way back to our sites section, right? So I'm going to go back to the onboarding calendar, and everything's good to go here. And again, as you're doing this, you want to just look at the options, right? Because you don't know when you might need them, or you don't know, if you're missing something. Just I like to go through tabs as I go, so I just get you can't unsee what you've seen, right? So let's get out of here now. Our calendar's set up. Let's go to our free audit page, right? Our free audit page has an embedded form, right? So if I want to edit this form, it's already here. If I want to add a different form, I can add or use a different form, right? But if you notice here, you click away, it disappears. So you have to make sure you click on it, and then it pulls up the settings for that section. Let's click Edit Form. This will pull the form in a separate window. And if you need to make changes of your fields, you could do so, right? And again, there's a lot of little buttons here that you'll get familiar with. So this little bell lets you add your email for notification when a form is submitted. Now there's other areas where you could set this up as well, but we've just included this to be easy for someone that wants a quick notification. They don't want to create automations or workflows. They just want to be notified for this particular form, right? And you have autoresponder, right? So you can make those adjustments too, check them on and off as needed, right? If after they submit their form, you want them to go somewhere, you can do that too, right? But let's just keep it as is. So we hit save and we're good to go. Oh, I forgot I'm right here. Okay. We're set there. Now, another area was the sales calendar, right? Sales calendar is a little different than the onboarding calendar. That's where our sales appointments, that's where our prospects are going to be pointed to. So again, same concept. We want to get to calendars. We want to adjust our hours, our settings, our availability, just like we did with the onboarding. And if we need to adjust the calendar, we click on the calendar section. We could adjust the calendar as needed, right? Pretty self-explanatory there, right? Just want to make an adjustment here. So far, what we've done together is we've gone page by page by page by page. For the home page, we made sure that we adjusted our logo. We added our logo, we added our information. And because those are global header and global footer, it publishes it on each section. But we're just going to double check to make sure it published it on each page, right? But it should have. After that, we went to the video page and we made adjustments to how the video generates leads for us. And we did so by adding at the 10-second mark, a form is required to pop up. And we have the choice to either require them to fill out the form or just X out to keep it going, right? So we have just an extra source of leads, right? Then we went to the pricings page and we made sure that we want our pricing to be the pricing it is. We then clicked on the pop-up button on the top left and we made sure that that was properly set up too, right? Then we went to the onboarding calendar. We adjusted our calendar settings. And then we did the same thing for our sales calendar. We wanted to make sure that our availability is what it is, right? We then went to our audit section and we made some tweaks to our form. Maybe we wanted a little bit less information that was being asked for than it was, or maybe we wanted to make some fields required, but then we saved it and we left it as is, right? That is what was available, right, in the last snapshot. What's now available in this snapshot, I'm going to show you next, right? So what we've added in this snapshot are two additional items, right? We've added our webinar funnel. So we've added a page with a webinar that will play once that visitor puts in their information, right? So let me just share my audio here. Let me just reshare. Let me this up here, share. Webinar, it's not what you say about you, it's what others say about you. And this webinar is dedicated to your reputation online and how that reputation transfers into your local market and vice versa. We'll be discussing a handful of details that is specific to your reputation. So if it's your first time to a webinar like this, it is a bit different than others. We will not have a replay immediately available. So please have a way to take some notes, whether it's pen, paper, a notepad. We want to make sure you have everything you need as we go along. And if you have any questions or you would like to participate in the conversation, we recommend that you go ahead and do so in the chat. We have a jam-packed agenda ahead of us, all discussing it's not what you say about you, it's what others say about you. I am your presenter. My name is JB. I'm a passionate advocate for helping small to medium-sized businesses. Right. So this is, I give you the format to edit this and make it your own. Right. I give you the format to edit this and make it your own. The goal of this is so that way, as people are going to your main page, and let me just go to that main page here. As people are going to your main page, they can sign up for the webinar right here. Sign up right for your webinar. And then once they submit it, it goes to the webinar page. So we just want to grab who are unaccounted for audiences. I mean, there's some people that just hop on websites, and there are pieces of software out there that'll try to grab information and get it to you and all this good stuff. But we're just going to use some basic catch your attention call to action. And that's where here They plug in their email, they hit join webinar, it brings them to the webinar, right? And that webinar page is hidden from up here. So that way they just don't click on it and bypass putting their email, right? And the video is so the video and the presentation is in the collateral section of the course. Here's my ask of you. Record your own. Let it be your voice. Let it be put your face on there. Let it be your own. Because at the end of the day, those that hear you, see you, start to know you, like you, and trust you. Right? And that's the goal here. For them to know you, like you, trust you. So record yours. Keep it to maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on how comfortable you are with the presentation. Remove, add, adjust as needed. Remove, add, adjust as needed, right? And with this presentation, let me pull this up here real quick. If I can show you an example of something. Ba, 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 ba. It's so awesome to see the comments here. A handful of you have already got your websites up. You got you have your webinar set up, recorded. You have your webinar set for the following week, if not the same week. It's just cool, right? I geek off of this stuff because, right, it's about getting it done, doing it. One thing to think about it, it's another thing to actually do it. And when I see people just take action, it makes me want to help them more and more and more. So as you are doing and creating everything on your end, please share with me in the Facebook group so I can go above and beyond and do my best to help you even more, right? That's what I wanted to give back with, right? So here's what I want to share with you because it was tricky for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that this has been tricky for, right? So we created this in Canva so you can easily edit it, right? So this is in Canva. The link is in the course, so you can go in and jump and take control of it. On the bottom, you click on Notes. On the bottom, you click Notes. I've added some notes, right? I've added some notes. So you have a guide of what you want to do and how you want to go about it, right? You don't have to read it word for word. I just wanted to give you a guide. Now, you may be asking, what's this? Well, another bonus that we've added to the website is a lead generation tool that leads to the marketing audit report, right? So if you have the prospecting tool, right, you'll be able to include your widget code and activate that dedicated page you created and have your audience, your folks that are visiting your site, plug in their information and request their own marketing audit report, right? So I'll show you that next. But in this particular example, in the webinar, we talk about Jenny Sue's Pet Grooming and Pet Oasis. And part of this webinar is teeing up the audience to be excited about what they're going to be able to see for themselves, which is their own marketing audit report and how it helps them get a compass of what their business looks like online, right? So we go slide by slide, we give them examples, and then as we do the examples, right, at the end, the call to action is the QR code. Scan this QR code or text this phone number, and I'll share your marketing audit report and the Google Slides with you. Right? And you could determine what your result of capturing that information is for. But here's what I'll tell you. You're either going to have the right phone number or the right email or both because they want something that you're about to give them custom. right? Now, to make the QR code, you can make the QR code right in high level and then copy that QR code into your slide deck. And voila, right? You got about 3 different ways of capturing leads. Now, what works really great is that if you do this presentation at a BNI, a Chamber of Commerce, a local networking event of any kind, right? You've had the experience already of teaching this, showing it, doing it, and your QR code is already set up to nurture those leads, right? So we want to capture, then we want to nurture, and nurturing could be, right, depending on the cadence you prepare and where the buying, part of the client journey they're in, and then close, right? Create the partnership, give a service, collect revenue from it, right? Trade. I'll trade you for a service. You pay me for my expertise, knowledge, and time. Right? So this has been put together for you. Yes, there will be questions. Yes, there will be hiccups. Everybody's just a little bit different on their experience and their techiness. But that's why I need you all to get into the Facebook group that we've created for this so we can help you out. And jump to Speak with Us Success so they can help you out too. The Facebook group's an added value. The Speak with Us/success is an essential 24-hour available Zoom assistance for you. Take advantage of either or, depending on your urgency. Right? So, share with me what you think. Share with me your feedback. Let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what questions you have. Although I won't respond directly to you, I'm looking at them. I know Jordan's working with the team. We're getting you in the right direction. So continue to ask and we will share. Okay? So the next part that I had mentioned, which we had created, was the prospecting tool widget. Right? This is new as well. So webinar is good to go. Now you're aware of it. We've unveiled that. Now we're going to do prospecting tool. Let's get into this page. Right? Now with the prospecting tool, there is a custom code that you need to plug in, right? So I'm going to preface it with this. We used ours to show you. You will need to use yours to use it. If you use ours, the leads will come to us and you will not see them. If you use yours, you will get the leads and be able to take action on them, right? So this needs to be replaced with your widget code, and we've included it here. So make sure that once you're done, you just remove that, okay? Remove that, right? But what we've done here is this is a placeholder with the custom code, right? Specific to ours. But I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. And again, you could customize these fields and all that good stuff. But we just want to get version 1 out because the biggest feedback I get is that, John, the training was great. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I know it can be done, but I just couldn't get my website up. And I just lost track of time and I had to move on, right? So let's knock this website out today, right? And let's get these features activated, right? So this form feeds into the prospecting tool feature, which is available under the agency view. By going to the agency view, you click on prospecting. Okay. You click on widgets, right? And you click create a widget. Now I've already created one, but you'll click create a widget, right? You could see that we have 16 leads that have come in through the widget. Again, if you use our widget, the leads will come to us and you will not get to them. So please use yours as needed to move forward, right? We're able to edit the form. So if we want to edit the colors of our form, we can edit the colors, right? If we want to edit the image, the background, the header, we could all edit that. This feeds into the Google API, which will pull the address and all the information so we could run the report, right? Typically, people will pay a license to have this done, or they'll pay someone to create it for them through the Google API. We've included this done for you, right? All you gotta do is plug and play with your code. After that's done, the report will automatically send out a link to your customer, your prospect, forgive me, your prospect or your customer. It could be either, right? You'll send a link to them with the report. They will then see this version, the web version of the report, on their screen. It'll be the web version of the report on their screen, right? You will receive the information that they submitted to get the report. And it's instant. So you have to do no legwork for this to get sent out. You could literally get people opting in to your page and receive these reports while you're sleeping. And if you like, you could also then, after they receive the report, add them to some sort of automation or point them to a calendar booking. We're giving value. At the end of the day, this is designed to give value. Because we have business owners that are much more techie than they used to be, they're much more aware of different types of tactics of what salespeople from bigger companies may use, what marketers may use, whatever the case may be. The buyer today is a little bit more defensive and weary that they're going to actually get what they say they're going to get. What we do in this process is we say we keep our word every step of the way. So once you fill in your information, you'll instantly get this, and we're here to help you, right? And that's where then your follow-up is just a bit more successful because they received value from you, and now you're following up on the value. And that's really what this is all about. Whether you're in person, online, in the same town, or across the country, human beings are human beings. They want to know, like, and trust who they're doing business with. And that's exactly why we've created mini these mini wins for people to get value, whether it's through the webinar, the prospecting tool, some sort of nurture email campaign, learning about different features on the website. We give them these options so that it just warms them up a bit, right? So if you like what you see, you understand what's available, comment below, let me know. And if you like some more context around something, whether it's a section, a feature, a use case, share below as well. I think it's so important that on a training like this that you just let everything out. Like, look, I'm not super techy. I'm afraid that this may not work for me. Here's what I've tried in the past, or hey, I tried this and it didn't work, or how do I do this? How do I do that? Like, this is a great place, right? And I think once you start to see these questions answered and you start to see the result of what you put in place, you just get more excited Because what we're trying to build here with your website and your online presence as a reputation expert is automation, right? You should not have to push the buttons and pull the levers every moment of every hour of every day. This will give you the chance to respond back, right? So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here. Um, myself and my colleague Paulson and Haplin, um, Jordan and Ethan, we speak about this after our events, and we try to find like how can we add more value to our new challengers, our existing customers that want to challenge, or those that just want to see if they may be missing a few steps in their process. I mean, I'm very appreciative when folks that have been using high level for years jump in, right? And maybe they're not part of the actual challenge, but they're just like listening, learning, being open-minded to what else is potentially available. Well, if you don't have these features on your site or on a site of one of your channel partners, or depending on how you're structured, well, these are some good features to add, right? Because it's a low barrier of interaction with you and the prospect. Gives them what they want, and gives you what you need. You need some contact information without spending tons of money on crazy widgets that totally assume that because I came off of this IP address or this internet or in this part of the country that this is my name, address, and zip code. And unless I send you a thank you card or a gift, I'm never going to get a hold of you. Right? I want real people's names, real people's phone numbers, or real people's emails. So I can send them a video. I can invite them to a webinar. I can give them a marketing audit report. I could relate to them. I could disrupt their day with value. Disrupting the day with value is much more better than disrupting the day with nuisance. Don't be a nuisance. Don't just spam people. Give them value. Let me get off my soapbox. Right? So let's keep this show on the road. Right? So let me get to my editor here. We got videos on videos, presentations, webinars. You got everything you need. Okay. Let me get back to my screens here. Hopefully I'm not throwing your eyeballs off here and confusing you, but I'm making my way back to my sub account with the ultimate goal of getting to sites and then getting to websites, because that's where my reputation website is located, right? And I got version 1 up. Now, all of this is done. Now what? Let's go to settings. The domain for the website. We need to attach a domain to this now. So we'll click on Add, Edit. It'll bring me to the Domains tab. If you have any questions, click here. But now we need to add a domain name. Now, just ignore the one I have here, right? You're gonna need to add your domain. So you plug in your domain, so soandso.com. You hit continue. It'll scan to see which domain service you're using. If we're compatible with it, it'll walk you through a couple clicks to get it installed. If we're not compatible with it, you'll go to add record manually. So we'll just type in superduperreviews.com, right? You always want to make sure this is checked off that you want the www, right? Let's let this scan. Now, everything I'm showing you works for those in the US and outside of the US. The website works for the US and outside of the US, right? So that question come up here. So because my domain, I haven't even registered this domain yet or anything, right? So I'll need to go into my DNS settings. So wherever I register my domain, let's say it's GoDaddy, go to godaddy.com. You'll log in. You'll click DNS. When you go to DNS, you'll go to your records. You go to your records. You're going to create an A record. Follow this. And then a C name. Follow this. Maybe you're techie or not, doesn't matter. There's a video to watch as well.
It's been
Right?
great since Jason's
And
retirement.
YouTube commercial kicked in. So, video's there for you to watch, and you're good to go. Right? You'll click verify records. Once you click verify records, your domain will pop up here. Okay. When your domain pops up here, you want to click the three dots, you click edit. You want to make sure your default page is your reputation management page. You hit save, voila, you're live. Now, I am not a professional tech wizard instructor, but I am competent enough through multiple hours of errors and patience that I figured out how to do this. And I use the videos over time to just perfect me on it, right? You may have a slow run or a fast run, but the resources are there. Make sure you use them, right? And those resources are in the university section, in the course, under the setup section. Our number one goal is to get the website live. So that way you could share your website and we could just make sure everything is good to go. Now what? There must be more. It can't just be that, John. You're absolutely right. After that, in the settings, there'll be an option to add a chat widget. There'll be an option to add any additional features you want. Those are a la carte. They're available, right? And then in the training, there's also an area for phone number and email, right? So with the domain that you've created, you've registered, right? You have to connect now your email. Now you can connect your email through LC email or through an existing SMTP or however you have it set up. Those are a little too complicated to go over on this call. I probably lose half, if not all, the audience. I don't want to talk to myself. All right. So I'm not going to go that route. But the route I will go is this. Get your website up. You join the Facebook group. We'll take the next step again the next day. Right? I'm aware that a lot of you cannot commit nonstop hours to do this. You either have your full-time job, side job, you're running your existing business. You can't do this all in one day because I'm asking you to. I understand. But if you give me something to help you and work with, it's going to be getting your website up, and then we can thin slice everything else as we go along, right? So I want to just show you exactly where to go here because for some reason this question does come up often, and people spend time waiting for responses, for support, or they give up because it's just exhausting and they just don't have the patience. So in order to get the step-by-step guide, you're going to go to the agency view, university, scroll down to 5-day reviews challenge. Go to day 2, and let's go to, with what we just went over now, let's go right to this one. Install the reputation management client acquisition snapshot, right? And then after you're done with that, you'll update your logo, your information. You'll join the Facebook group. You'll share your link. We'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. And then I'll say, hey, you want to make sure you go over your custom values or adding your Zoom link or whatever the case may be. Right? But here's what I've learned over time, and I wish I would have kind of maybe got this sooner. Right? Without the website, we have nothing. We could do without the email. We could do without the phone number for a short time. right? We can add those. There's workarounds, but there isn't a workaround without a business image. There isn't a workaround without a visible business information for someone to connect you to, right? Everything else is pretty fast and easy from there. So there's a handful of questions. We're going to get those answers to you here shortly. Jordan has pointed a handful of you to different areas. If you have not joined the Facebook group, we'll have it shared in the chat below. And I just want to pull it up here really quick, so you also could see here. Where is my window? And I can't find my window. Pull this up here. I don't want to minimize my Zoom meeting. Oh, here we go. That's why, because I have it live. All right, so let me go here. Let me go to the Facebook group. I'm going to share. Okay. Once you get your page, your site up, if you have a question, join the Facebook group, write something, tag me, I will help you. Right? Write something, tag something, I will help you, and we'll get you squared away. All right? But the group is here. It's live, up and running. I will give you a hand. I will not leave you lost. Promise you that, right? So we've covered a handful of the techie stuff. I do want to jump into two additional things here just to make sure I covered all ends. You will need a trial account or an existing high-level account to do everything I've shown you, to take set up and activate your snapshot. Everything here does require high level. We do have two winners. We do have two winners. We have one from yesterday that won our engagement contest. That winner will be linked below here. Jordan will link that winner below from yesterday. And then we have a winner from today that participated, that engaged, that was just in the comments, helping people, talking, sharing. Right? So look out for your name to get tagged. You'll also receive a message. Right? So we got yesterday's winner below. That's listed here in the Facebook or in the YouTube chat. Right? And then today's winner will be coming right up. And tomorrow we'll have another winner. Congrats to our winner for today, listed below. And what's really neat about this is you can never go wrong with a little bit of high-level swag. Socks are comfortable, hoodies are cool, t-shirts are great. And as you start to build your agency, your brand, you'll be able to write some notes from like how we do things. Right? We leave the clues behind. We want you to be successful. So before you know it, you're giving swag away to your customers, right? But here's what's most important. If you're just tuning in now, make your way to this link. Sign up today for your trial. Get your account set up, right? Everyone that's been watching today either has got set up already and we did the final touches here, or they got started getting set up and they're going to finish the touches thereafter, right? But it really all starts with just having everything set up, right? And like I mentioned before, right, I admire if you figure this out on your own, because I'm that kind of person as well. I'm patient enough where I will just go through the pain to learn what I need to do. But if you're not that kind of person, or you choose that you don't want to be that kind of person today or tomorrow, that's fine. This is at no additional cost. It's part of our experience. Jump on this link. It's a Zoom link. It's going to connect you with one of our experts, and they're going to guide you. Again, focus on one problem, get it squared away. They're not going to spend an hour with you on this call. They're going to get you your chief problem situated. Whether that's your website has a 404 error, whether your domain doesn't connect, whether your phone number can't find a phone number in your area, your email doesn't connect, you have no idea what your password is for whatever reason, and your password reset's not working for you, like they'll get you going. Leverage this link. Leverage this link. So my ask of you is very clear, very direct, very simple. Get your website up, jump into our Facebook private group. Let me know your website's up and running. I'll take a look at it. I'll make sure everything is as connected as possible, right? And we'll get you to the next stage. And thereafter that, we can worry about phone, email, all that other goodie. Now, if you already beat us to it, thank you. By all means, if you have the time and the experience, do the whole thing if you can. But if not, the website is number one. All right, y'all. We've been at it. I'm trying to get a little bit more, trying to grab all of your feedback. What I love about you 5-day challengers is that you give me a chance to improve. You give me a chance to understand maybe your point of view or what you're stuck on, and it gives me a chance to pivot as needed. And shorter, more direct is much more better for most of you than in depth and everything at once. So made a small change here to support the feedback. If you have any questions, throw them below. Till tomorrow, we do this all over again, but instead we do it with sales and prospecting. Because in order to get the website to get traffic, we need to make relationships. We need to know where to go to meet people that we can help, right? So if you have experience, if you have some tips, you have some tricks, you have some best practices, get them ready because I want to hear them. And I want you to join the conversation in our live and in our group. So till tomorrow, hasta mañana. We'll see ya. Have a great day. And thank you for being part of the 5-day challenge.